of the co-founders of WholeCell, and today I'm joined by Petra over at M360. I think on this webinar, we usually have a lot of WholeCell customers or people that know WholeCell. Today, we actually have a bunch of people who don't know WholeCell and probably who don't know M360. So it's very exciting. We get to give a little bit more of a background behind our products. But for everyone that just is completely blind coming in, I have been, I think M360 and WholeCell have both existed for many years in this industry. So WholeCell is almost 8 or 9 years old now, and M360, I'm sure, Petra, how old is M360?
Yeah, M360 was started in 2017, and the final software is on the market since 2020, so it has a 5 years history.
Wow, yeah, so that's similar. So I think we've each watched each other's products come out, and I've used M360 before. I've seen the interface, and so I'm very excited to announce an official partnership and integration with you all. So I'm going to pop over to the next slide. So for everyone who's joining, Petra is a key account manager at M360. I've been working with Petra through the development of this integration. She's just been fantastic to work with. So she's going to be giving the M360 side of the conversation today. And of course, anybody who's from WholeCell side has seen my face many times. I'm one of the co-founders of our software, and we'll be talking about the software and this integration, what it does for our customers. So nice to see you all. So for folks who do not know what WholeCell is, just a very brief overview. We've been in the industry for a long time. My partner, Harry, and I, we were originally buying and selling phones. So we had these problems of tracking the inventory of these products, of used products that have all kinds of problems there. Whenever you test a used product, its grade could be very different than another. It could have very different failed tests, like conditions that are problematic with it. And that made it very hard to use kind of standard inventory software. So we built our own inventory software, and in 2018, we turned it into a product for customers to use. And so we have a couple hundred customers that are, all of them are buying and selling used electronics. A lot of them are in the United States, but we have some in Latin America, some in Europe, and we're really excited about this integration with M360 to add more of a European base and to work with more European customers. As you can kind of see by this diagram that we have here, WholeCell it's an inventory tracking and e-commerce solution for serialized electronics. And so what it does is you can bring all of your data about your inventory from now M360 Mobile Diagnostics. You can import spreadsheets. We have an integration with some trade-in providers. So if you're buying through trade-in, you can import those trade-ins there. And then you use our system to manage the inventory, which I'll give a little bit of a demo of. And then we connect with integrations to all these e-commerce channels and more e-commerce channels that are important to European sellers. We've got one with Refurbed coming out later this year. And we also, one of the important things we do is it's all serialized. So we are tracking the purchase and sale price for every serialized unit, which is very important for marginal VAT. So that's something we know is important to our European users, and it can be very helpful. So that's kind of WholeCell in a little preview. This integration that we've built with M360, basically, we have many customers, as you can imagine, that are importing their inventory to WholeCell from a spreadsheet or from a list, or they don't have a spreadsheet or a list, they're writing it down, so they're manually putting it into the system. It's very slow. And so this integration allows you to import, which I'm going to show you, devices from M360 just using the IMEI. So you can scan the IMEI, and if you've tested or plugged in the device with M360, it has all of the details there about the product, the grade if you're putting that in, the IMEI check results, and the tests that have failed, which in our system can map to the conditions that make up the SKU and are parts of the product catalog. So, but in essence, it is a much faster way to bring inventory into the system. Just much faster than a spreadsheet or having to obviously manually enter that information. So, the next thing that we're very excited about is we've worked with, this is I think the first shared discount deal we've done with a diagnostic provider. And so if you are using WholeCell and M360 together, if you've signed up for both products, for new customers that are activating, we will both give a 20% off an annual license for the product. And Petra, is there anything that you want to say about that from the M360 side?
Well, M360 is working with customers from the mobile diagnostic background. So if somebody's selling or repairing used devices, of course, they can just test it, found out if the devices have any issues. And yeah, we provide this discount for the annual subscription. Our licenses are available on our website, so everybody's able to purchase it by themselves and activate the discount with the promo code we provided in this landing page or this slide right now. And it's quite easy to use, but you will see.
Yeah. And we've got a question. Daniel asks, is it a once a year discount or a continuous? Daniel, at the moment, we're so excited. We wanted to make this a continuous thing for folks that are using both products. Again, I even have a typo here. It says apples to new users, but it applies to new users of both products. So if you're a new user to WholeCell, you haven't had a subscription before, if you're using both pieces of software, you've got to be using both, and you've got to be on an annual license for both, but it continually applies from our end. And for Daniel, if you have WholeCell but you don't have 360, you're probably able to get the license or the discounts, on their side if you sign up for M360. And the same thing for if you're not using WholeCell but you are coming from M360, we will apply that. It doesn't apply for existing customers of the product on either side, I don't believe, but start the conversation and we'll see where that goes. So nice. Thanks, Petra. So now we're going to jump into a quick demonstration. These are, they're live and exciting and prone to whatever happens. So I want to show you all, I think there are plenty of people on the call who have not seen WholeCell before. So for all of you, I want to give a very quick demo of WholeCell and this integration that we have. And then Petra's going to do the same of M360. And I've thought for a long time that M360 is the most beautiful diagnostic software. There are many diagnostic softwares, but not many that look really polished. So I'm excited for everyone who hasn't seen it to see it. So let's share. Let's see. Hopefully you all can see my screen. So this is the back end of WholeCell. This is the main view that our customers use the most. It is looking at all of their serialized inventory. So what is unique about WholeCell is it was built for this purpose of tracking the used electronic products. And you can see we have the details about the product. We've got all of the kind of core important things about specifically phones and laptops and tablets and wearable devices, things like that. We've got the grade here, and we also have a condition column. Let's see if I have any examples here. I don't in this first page, but this is where we have like tags from our catalog. Let me show you what a catalog looks like really quick. So our catalog has conditions that can be tagged on the product. And so this is really valuable, I think, for when you're testing with M360 and items are failing certain tests. If you're refurbishing those items and fixing the broken attributes, I think WholeCell is one of few inventory systems that allows you to tag the products with these damages and then fix them and record the costs and the repair costs and things like that. So let's pop over to a purchase order. Anybody that's interested in a longer demonstration of WholeCell, please just send me a message and we'll do a demo for you and show you how it can work for your product. I'm not going to give a long demonstration here, but I'm going to get into now how this integration with M360 works. So for anyone that wants to turn it on, actually, we have it in our integration dashboard. So these are many different products that we integrate with, and M360 is right here. Clicking this will open a guide to show you how. And so in our settings, we have an option, if we scroll down, for a diagnostic integration. And here we just put the name M360. We have this URL for where WholeCell retrieves the data from on M360, and that's in our guide that shows you how. And then Petra will even show you how to retrieve this API key that is unique to your account from M360. So once you put all of this information in, when you go to where you do this in WholeCell, where you're adding inventory. And Daniel asked, can I do this with any diagnostic? You can, Daniel. We've got a document that describes the way that this works. But for today's conversation, we're specifically talking about this partnership with M360. So we can talk about that offline if you want to. So purchase orders in WholeCell are where you add inventory to the system. So we can add inventory to a PO. They kind of, if you're buying in auctions, obviously every auction or every purchase from a vendor would be a PO. If you're doing trade-in, you might say every trade-in is its own PO, or all the trade-ins from today are one batch PO. But either way, if we go to a PO, we can see we have that serialized perspective. Every row is a new serial number. And we can toggle back and forth between the quantity and the SKU or the specific IMEI of the product, which is nice. So if I go to add more inventory to the system here, since I've added M360 as an option, I can click on that, and it allows me to come here and scan the IMEIs that I want to bring over. So this is going to make a request to M360 for any of the IMEIs that I have tested there or plugged in there, so the information is there. So let me put in the IMEI here. I have. Oh no, I lost it. That was my pasted IMEI. Hold on 1 minute, everyone, as I grab this IMEI back that works for me.
It's quite hard to follow which IMEI we copied.
It's always back. But here, okay, I got it. All right. So if you can imagine here, though, many of our customers have a scanner where they're scanning, you're scanning the labels that you print out with M360. So your ability over here would be to scan all of the items that you want to bring over to the system. Or if you have them, you probably have those IMEIs in a list in M360 you can export and copy and paste over. So this, you could bring over 500 items, but for the demonstration here, I'm just going to do one. When we hit next, this makes the call to M360, and it asks me, there are some unrecognized conditions, probably a failed test that came over from M360. So this will happen if there's an unrecognized product details, conditions, anything. So here I can either ignore this, which will do, it just won't bring in the autofocus problem. It could create a new condition in my catalog, or I could replace autofocus. Maybe I have something about camera here. Yeah, so I have front camera, broken camera blemish, broken camera lens. It's gonna do, if autofocus doesn't work, we'll call it broken camera. So if I save this, it's going to import this item into WholeCell, and here you can see it came in with all of this detail. So if we go to this items page now, this is a full inventory item in WholeCell, and it's got all of the details about the conditions that came from M360. These are the tests that it failed. We didn't put a grade in M360 this time, so nothing came through there, but we have all the details about the product that I had brought in. And so the unknown one is just a carrier that I probably did not designate in M360. So this is by far, again, the fastest way to bring inventory into the system. You can imagine with a spreadsheet, everything has to be sorted correctly. When it's manual, everything has to be entered manually. So if you have thousands of items in M360, starting an account with WholeCell and bringing over those items so that you can connect them to your back market, Amazon, eBay listings, which all work for international customers. Our European customers use those integrations, and WooCommerce and so forth. So if you want to do that, M360 is just the fastest way to get that information into WholeCell. So if there are any questions about that side of the demo, please put them in the chat and I will answer them. I'll probably answer them on chat. Now I'm going to turn it over to Petra, who's going to give, for all of these WholeCell customers who've never seen M360 before, a demonstration of M360. So Petra, I'll pass it over to you. You can take over the screen share.
Thank you, Brennan. I'm going to stop you sharing your screen share my screen. So welcome everyone again. Just to see how the data will go to WholeCell. Sorry for my mistakes with this little window. Yeah. M360 comprises three main elements. We have an online dashboard, what you can see right now. It's quite easy to log in here just from our website. If you register on our website, you will automatically get this access to the dashboard with a pilot free license. And this is the place where you can manage your account and subscription. And also you will have the access to your API too. Which means these are the things you should copy to your WholeCell integration. What Brennan showed you, how you can connect your M360 account to WholeCell. And that way, the data can be copied to your WholeCell account. The next main part is the desktop application, which is compatible with PCs and macOS as well. And the third one is the mobile application. So the desktop application facilitates their installation. And to show you how it works, I prepared with an iPhone 13. I will start connecting it. And as you can see, we have a limited version for the Androids and the iOS devices. It's a quite important thing. And regarding the Android devices, we will need to enable the developer mode and the USB debugging mode as well. So I just connected the iPhone. And as you can see, a phone card, a so-called phone card appeared on the screen. This is the place where you're able to run blacklist check, symlog check if needed. We have some data from the devices here. You see the device name and some IDs of it. Yeah, this is the place where you're able to add your own SKU, which can be copied to WholeCell as well. And the main functions of M360 is the diagnostic, the grading, the certified erasure, and we also able to quickly set up and activate iOS devices, which will be a key part of the diagnostic. So just for our quick demo, I will show you how it works. So this device currently does not have the mobile application. I can install it with a single click. Now it appeared on the device. I open it, and now I'm able to run the diagnostics. We have a few default templates, some for different functions, but all of our users are able to create their own diagnostic test templates from their online dashboard. Yeah, I have this demo template because it's quite short, fast, and you can see how it works. So I just press the start, and as you can see, some tests are already turned green, which means that we read out the results from the device already. Currently, I have to do the multi-touch test with 3 fingers. The flash is already turned on. Some tests are needed to have a human evaluation, like the flash and maybe the vibration. Also the camera, and some tests are automated. Also the NFC test, which is running right now, and the gyroscope. So if I moving the device, you can see that the gyroscope test turned green. However, the device screen shows the NFC test. I'm moving the NFC tag behind the device and it turned green. Now I have to push the buttons for the successful test. And yep, we are all set. This was a very fast test with only a few diagnostics. For the finalization, I have to finish, and you will see the results on the results screen. And this way, your results already copied to your WholeCell account, so you can manage the next steps regarding this device from there. We already have this grading function. So Brennan showed that that device didn't have that, but if you save some settings here, it's also based on human evaluation. you can update your results, and these can be also copied to your WholeCell account. You're also able to export your data. We have so many ways to do so. For example, copy an online URL for it. And this is how an M360 certificate looks like, which way it's quite easier to sell your used devices. I'm sorry, the language of this is currently Hungarian. So this way I'm able to show you how easily you can change the language of a certification. Yeah, two more important things. We have a label printing tool to stick some magic labels to your devices. And also, the other thing I just forgot, I'm sorry, you can manage your history from your M360 account to here and in the online dashboard as well. Yes, these are all the same. To save this last session I just did right now, I have to disconnect this device. We'll go back. Yeah, I disconnected the device and refreshing my online history, and you can see that the latest one appeared here. And one thing I want to mention is our pricing and licenses. We have an annual billing and monthly billing option. All of our licenses can be set up easily. Sorry, I have to change my screen. Okay. And all of our licenses can be expanded with further devices. These amounts will renew monthly. Also, blacklist check, SIM lock check, and the number of computers you would like to use for testing. If you go through this process, you will have to have an account there. However, I'm currently having a license with this account. But at the very end, you will be able to activate your promotion code, and this way the final price will be decreased by the discount. I'm sorry. Currently, as I have the largest license on my account, I'm unable to show you where you can activate the promotion code, but if you need any help, just text me a message and we will be happy to help. And I'm gonna pass back the voice, sorry.
You're fine. That was so great, Petra. Thank you so much. I think for anyone that has not seen M360 before, it is just one of the cleanest and most native looking user interfaces for diagnostic. And I love the multilingual support of the reports. I had not seen that. So that's so cool. I'm so glad you shared your pricing plans as well. I'll do the same just for anyone who has not seen our pricing for WholeCell. So it's somewhat similar in that, it depends on how much you are using the software and what you're using it for, how many users are accessing it, how many sales orders you're doing per month, and probably most importantly, how many marketplaces you have connected to the software. So, the benefit of that I actually didn't even mention in my overview, the big benefit of WholeCell and its connection with M360 is as you add these devices, we are connected to these different marketplaces that I show here. And WholeCell is constantly synchronizing the quantity of the inventories that you have in the system to these marketplaces. So we count how many serialized items you have for each SKU. And if that changes every 10 to 20 minutes, we are sending updates to these channels. And we're adding more channels continually to make it so you don't have to manually manage the quantity on the channels and to prevent you from overselling. So a lot of challenges come up with when you're selling on 3 or 4 channels or more. When you have to you sell a few on one channel, or you sell some B2B, and you have to go remove the listings, but maybe you don't do it fast enough, and then you have over sales. If you have to cancel the orders, it really hurts your seller reputation and your metrics on the channel. And so that is what Wholesale is helping with these connections, and that is what our pricing is primarily based around. We are currently, for years, we have been syncing the quantity, but we are actively working on the ability to synchronize the price of the listings and to create the listings from Wholesale. So right now you still create the listings on the channels, but we are bringing that functionality to our various integrations soon. And so as you all can imagine, from this really concludes a dream for me, where you have M360, you're plugging devices in and testing them like Petra showed. And as you add them to Wholesale, if you have a listing for those devices on Backmarket and eBay and Amazon and Swappa and Rebello, you have all of these listings on these channels. When you add the inventory, it will automatically increase your quantity on those channels. So that's the benefit of these two solutions being together, is that you have a very fast way to test the devices and bring them into Wholesale, and then Wholesale automatically manages the counts of the inventory. And when you have orders from the channels, those orders come into Wholesale, and you're able to put the IMEI or the serial number of the product on the order, and it traces all the way back to your diagnostic test. So it's not just an IMEI just in text that's on the order. It is the full history of the product, who you bought it from, what happened in the middle, did you do some repairs, everything, and who in your company did those changes. So that is the benefit of these two solutions together, is it really, from the point of receiving the product to the point of selling the product, you have a full log of that entire history. And I love the reports that M360 gives. I think for an e-commerce seller to have that level of a report for every product is incredibly important. So that's great. And these are, Petra was showing, I think, annual license prices for M360. Wholesale does monthly license, but we do an annual commitment. So these are all paid monthly, but we will give the 20% discount with an annual commitment. So you would commit annually. You don't have to pay with ours for the full year. You would still pay by month. And that's how this works. And these prices are in USD. So whatever conversion needs to be done for you. But we can bill it. We will bill you in USD, but you can pay with any payment method. So Joseph asked if M360 catches finance checks. Petra, is that the case?
Well, if the question means that if we can decide if an IMEI is financed, then the answer is no. We can check if it's on any blacklist, so it's flagged as stolen or lost, or it's clean, and also we can check if it's SIM locked or unlocked to any carriers. Currently, this is what.
Nice. And Neil has a bunch of questions. Nice. And I think I saw that M360 is connected to GSMA. And my understanding is that over time, GSMA will bring more of the finance checks into its service offering. So I would imagine when they do that, some of that will be available. I think for a lot of our customers on the call, and Joseph, yes, M360 is available in the US. I've used it in a test case, and it works fabulously well on both Mac and PC. And Petra, do you want to answer Neil's question aloud or just in the chat?
Yeah. Thank you, Neil. I forgot to show you how it works with multiple devices. Sorry, I will start with your third question. So it's possible to test more than one phone at a time. We have a batch mode and also batch manager function, which way you can separate from each batches from each of them. So yes, you can. Your first question, 1,000 unique devices limit is monthly or annual basis. What you can set on your pricing page will be renewal one. However, you're able to purchase some tokens for one time, and they can roll out again. But what you set first is renewal one each month. You can pay annual license, but the limits for monthly. And Currently, we do not have timely trial period, but with every registration, we provide a pilot license, which is free. It's up to 4 devices in a month, and this 4 devices will renew also monthly. However, with this pilot license, you won't have access to the integration part, so you won't have your API key to WholeCell integration. So if you would like to use the integration, you will have to have a paid license from M360.
I love how M360 does this, though, Petra. So WholeCell has a trial plan for 15 days where people can use it for free, but after 15 days they have to subscribe. M360 has you have full access to the system for a few devices, which is like the best test experience. So you can use
More or
it.
less, yes. Sorry for disturbing you, but not all the functions are available in the pilot license, as this batch operation is not available in it.
Okay.
Sorry.
But it's still for 4 devices. I think for many customers that want to test, they want to run 1 or 2 devices to see what the testing procedure is like, and you can do that.
Without this, because we have some customers with very low amount of devices monthly, and that's why we wanted to provide them something. And it also can be a kind of trial. However, we also count with the very low budget businesses. So that's why we provided this free license.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I've used it before, and it's worked very well as a way to experience the software. There are many other diagnostic software you have to have a meeting. You have to meet with someone to activate, and they have to install on the computer, and it's very cumbersome. Whereas M360, you download it, you create an account, and you can test a device, which I appreciate. It's very easy.
And one thing I forgot to mention, as our prices are available on our website, and the largest subscription is up to 4,000 devices monthly. If someone needs a higher plan, feel free to contact us, and this way we will create a personalized code to them, so everybody will be able to get, maybe if we have some customers around more than 30,000 devices monthly. So we welcome everyone with large numbers too.
Awesome. Well, for anyone who's still with us on the webinar, I just put the link to both. We have a landing page on WholeCell, and M360 has a landing page on their website about our integration. And so if you are, again, if you're a new customer of either of our products, please go to those pages for us, book a demo with us. We'd be happy to show you more of the solution and this connection privately for you of how it connects to M360. And I'm sure Petra and her team are in the same place. If you go and book some time with them, they will show you the integration from their end and all of their pricing options and things like that. So.
Yeah, and also if someone needs a personalized demo for M360, of course, we have a lot more functions than I showed now. So we welcome the interest and any contact.
Great. Well, if anybody's got any questions, Brandon, you said it was great. Thanks so much. We enjoyed showing it to you. Put them in. We'll wait maybe like 30 seconds. But Petra, I want to say thank you so much for spending the time to prepare for this, to build the integration, and to share it with me. This is really exciting. And as we've talked about privately, but for all of our customers, WholeCell finally built a kind of standard diagnostic integration, which we will continue making better, and we'll be working with M360 to add more functionality. So the best thing that you can do is use this integration. Tell us. I'm sure it's simple, and it was the starting point for us to build, but there are many things more that we probably can and should build. So give us feedback. The more feedback we get, the better we will make it, and the more tightly these systems will be integrated. So that's very exciting to me as a starting point.
And thank you to Brennan for your hard work for this integration. Lucas, I see your question right now. We have some subscriptions which already include some SIM lock checks, but for extra tokens, you of course can extend this amount, and you have to pay more, but the prices will be clear.
Which
Thank
is
you.
so cool. I think we get a lot of questions from customers about how do I get IMEI checks into WholeCell? How do I get device data into WholeCell? And for our customers here, that is something we've intentionally made of. These diagnostic systems like M360 and M360 specifically do such a good job of running those tests. As you plug the device in, it reads the IMEI, it runs the checks. That's as good of an experience as it can be. And so we have left it to that integration to be able to get that information into WholeCell, and we're very invested in that solution.
Yeah, it will be exciting. We were waiting this integration for a long time, and I just can't believe it's finally finalized. So thank you for
it's
that.
Here. Yeah, thank you, Petra. Thanks for everything. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. We really appreciate it, and we'll be talking to you all soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.